Started recording.
Okay, well, welcome to the Tairua-Pāuanui Community Board's November meeting. Are there any apologies? There being none? Are there any items not on the agenda? There being none? Are there any conflicts of interest? There's none. We do not have anyone registered for a public forum, so I'll move straight on to the confirmation of the minutes. Can I have a mover and seconder, please?
Move.
Second. Thank you. Any discussion from those minutes? Anything arising out of there that? The Pāuanui trial, I guess, do we have an update on the Tairua District Trust?
No, I haven't met with them yet to do the work through the funding agreement. That's something that I'll be working on the next week or two.
So, any other matters arising? If not, I'll put the resolution. All those in favour?
Aye.
2. Yes. Carried. 2.1, and Natural and Heritage Grant application from the Tairua Heritage Society. Can we have a mover and seconder, please?
Yep.
Resolution 1, that we received the application for Natural and Cultural Heritage Grant. The Tairua Heritage Society Incorporated report dated the 8th of October 2021. In part 2, we either approve or decline the funding of $5,015 from the Natural and Cultural Heritage Fund to the Tairua Heritage Society Incorporated towards the designing and construction of 2 further history panels and the reprint of the Tairua Lockdown 2020 book, and the purchase of a filing cabinet to securely store the old documents and photos. Heidi, you're going to...
Well, I take the report as being read. And any questions?
What's the funding allocation for us in the Heritage Fund?
It's in the report, 5,036.
And they're going for 5,015.
Yeah.
Right. Is it for the whole ward, or is it just for Tairua-Pāuanui? The Heritage Fund.
The Natural Cultural Heritage Grant is for the Tairua-Pāuanui ward.
It's not the whole Southeast ward.
No,
Okay.
Whangata has their allocation.
Right.
No further discussion on that, or we go to...
You see the value of what they're trying to achieve there?
Yeah, well, we had a function there Sunday week ago where we had Joe Davis down from Whirianga, Ngāti Hay, to dedicate the new panel, one of 3. We repositioned them at the rear of the new toilet block. They went to great lengths to consult both iwi, both Ngāti Maru and Ngāti Hay. The result was they made a beautiful panel, but we had a bit of a problem with a representative of Hapu. So at this moment, this panel has been removed, subsequent to getting some more consultation, but that shouldn't stop the making of them 2 new panels. They've been well received. They've had many congratulations. We just had a little bit of a problem with some consultation. But other than that, yeah, so they take it along very well. They're doing a lot of good work. Pretty dedicated group.
So is this money for the new panels or the retrospective old panels?
And that's with new panels.
New panels. These 2 new panels are doing.
Yep.
Right. And you say the discussions with Ngāti Hay need to be further.
No, Ngāti Hay are on board.
They're on board with these new ones.
Joe gave a very good when he dedicated, he spoke long. We just had a confrontational matter on another side. So we're assured we're going to try and sort this out.
Right.
But that won't stop the new panels. These new panels are not involved, they're forward, they're into gold mining and further down the history channel.
Gold mining and logging.
And logging.
The logging one, they're in partially the other day, it's very good. Yeah.
Okay, so are we in favour of approving this funding?
I think we should.
Or I'll put the motion. Is there any further discussion?
Have we got a picture of them?
No. The ones to be? No, because they have not been designed yet. The next time in town, have a look at the ones that are there.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. They're done by a woman in Auckland who's done a lot of work for Ngāti Hay, so I've been informed. They're very happy with their reproduction. So,
Okay.
yep, I'll put the motion. All in favour?
Aye.
Anyone against? Carried, thank you. Moving on. 2.2, the work programme. Tairua-Pāuanui Community Board Work Programme 2021-2022. The resolution reads that the Tairua-Pāuanui Community Board receives the Tairua-Pāuanui Community Board 21-22 Work Programme update. Can I have a move and a seconder? Okay. Rose, good morning.
Excuse me, sorry, was it Newman's Windows? I just didn't catch both.
Yeah, Chris on the top.
Perfect, thank you.
Rose, good morning.
Good morning, board. Happy to take the report as read. Just the standard update that we bring to you every meeting. Happy to answer any questions or take any feedback that you may wish to provide to me.
Bruce, can I just have a quick discussion regarding the footpath from this bridge that the NZTO built back to town? Where does that fit in the program now? And does that affect anything that's happening on Ocean Road?
Yes, I don't believe it affects anything that's happening on Ocean Road, Councillor Walker. As far as where it fits on the program, it wasn't a project as part of the LTP, obviously. So it's something that we're investigating at this stage just to see how we can kind of make that happen. I don't think Ed's on the line. No, he's not. So yes, I believe that's currently where things are at with that one.
So that would be an out-of-budget request if it came through?
Yes, I believe so, yeah. So obviously we're trying to work with Waka Kotahi, NZTA, to see what we can kind of do with them to try and make that happen as the board has the desire of the board. But yeah, so at this stage, it would be an out of cycle if we decided to do something this financial year.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think I had.
Okay, Ocean Beach Road, I hear it was with the other day, it might be a bit over budget.
I don't have any of that information. Sorry about if it might be going over budget. Yeah, I'm not currently aware of that. So I can do some investigation and see if I can find out and let you guys know.
Yeah, if you could, I think we're going to have to get some more money from what I understand. 300k, and the prices come in at 400 or something.
That could well be the situation. The tenders are only closing kind of at the end of October. So whether the team's gone through and done the evaluation and seen what the market, where the market is priced at. But I'll see what I can find out to give the board an update on that one.
The jungle drums have been beaten.
Okay.
Can I just, through the chair, if I may?
Certainly.
Bruce, can you just update us on the Pāuanui Holland stream improvements, the pre-lodgement resource consent, which was supposed to have been obviously yesterday, 30th of June, sorry, and just, has that been lodged?
I don't know if it's been lodged. I know they had their meeting, but if it hasn't been lodged, it'll be very close to it. I'm just scrolling, trying to find the comments, sorry, Terry. Where are we? It's right down the bottom, isn't it?
Who will lead that in replace of Jonathan? Is it Andrew that you're putting?
Yeah, so Andrew's picked that one up along with a couple of other Jonathan's projects. We are currently advertising and looking for an additional project manager. We've had a couple of new project managers start, but we are looking for an additional one. Yeah.
Andrew.
Looks like quite a bit of work, isn't it? Looking,
Yeah.
regrading, reshaping.
Yeah, and that's quite a job. But it's been a long-winded affair.
Yeah.
So,
I think
Been long-winded.
the work planned for it and cleaning it out is going to make a big difference in that.
Yeah.
It's made a huge difference what they've done now.
Yeah.
You know, when you think of the storms we've had, the rain we've had, there's been no flooding to speak of whatsoever. So just to clear it out, but just general maintenance.
we haven't had a real doozy rainfall,
We haven't had a doozy yet, but yeah.
I've said that we haven't had a real good storm event. Oh,
No, not since it's
not
cleaned
a
out.
real, you know, on the closest the roads for a long time. Anyway, it's good.
Did you find out, Bruce, whether that's been lodged or not? Are you still waiting?
No, I'll have to come back to you on that. Sorry, I've added it to my list, so I'll let you guys know whether it's been lodged or not. But it's possible it hasn't been lodged yet because, like I say, they were only meeting a couple of weeks ago. So whether they would have been able to turn around any of the additional requirements based on that meeting might be tight. But I'll find out and confirm to the board.
Bruce, the Tairua-Pāuanui CBD car park.
Yes.
Are you aware that there's been a lot of work done there? A concrete pad has gone in?
I'm not aware.
Recently?
Not aware of any details on site, sorry, Mr. Chair, but I know that Andrew's got a separate report on your agenda regarding that, so that might be the ideal place to have those discussions.
Okay, I'll leave it till then. Any other matters? That work program? Okay, you got anything to say?
Nothing from me on that one.
Okay, thank you, Bruce.
No problem. Thank you very much, board.
Somebody moved the second, somebody had that done, I'll got the motion, we're all in favour?
Aye.
No against? Thank you very much. Carried. 3.1, the new Lease Tairua Information and Community Services Society Incorporated. The resolution is that the Tairua Community Board receives the new Lease Tairua Information and Community Services Society dated 28th of August 2021. We recommend to Council that it approves the lease to the Information Centre for part of the premises of the Tairua Library as shown in the plan, attachment A, at 2 Manaia Road, Tairua, on the following terms. A term of 5 years, commencement date 1 July 2020 to expire on the 30th of June 2025. No renewal term, annual rent of $350 plus GST. Outgoings 21% of the TCDC rate, insurance, utilities, cleaning and any other services charges based on the occupation area. Nicole, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. How are we?
Tenko.
I take the report as read, so we'll just answer any questions if you have any.
I don't have any questions. I'm quite happy with my house.
Is this going to raise any issues with the expansion of the library and the heritage centre and all that? Is there any issues over this?
No, I think the time frame 2025 is probably
That'll be,
on cue.
yep, that'll be
Yeah,
the end of the second lot of budget money that you have in there.
I take it we're flagging that that was a temporary arrangement for a start.
Yes, yes.
If I can just draw your attention to one change, it doesn't really affect anything, but just to do with the outgoings in the recommendation, the Information Centre actually clean their own area, so they just clarified with me that they would share the costs of their shared areas. So that was just a little clarification point for the recommendation, but otherwise,
That's all good.
all good.
Where did that came from? Any further questions?
No.
Thank you, Nicole.
No worries, thank you all.
We need to.
Better put
You put the motion forward.
Put the motion.
And everybody.
Did I not? No, move and second. Oh, my
You
apologies.
did, but you haven't asked them. You haven't asked them. If they're in favour or not.
No. Well, I'm going to have a move and second first. Going to move and second on that resolution, please.
Yes, hand up.
Now, I'll put the motion. All in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
What's that?
Carried.
I see it appears that the team's information centre might be closed.
Oh. Thank you, Gary. That's what I was saying.
No, everything was aye.
Okay, 4.1.
Flipping along.
Yeah, reserves available for the licensed operators. Here's a bit of paper. Okay, we'll move on to second, please.
No, happy to second this.
Motion that we receive the reserves available for the licensed commercial operators report dated 13th of October 2021. And part 2 approves the following proposed sites available for licensed commercial operators. Derek, good morning.
Good morning, board. Hopefully you're all well.
Oh, no one's sneezing or coughing?
So for a quick summary for this paper is that we're moving to a unified approach around the district. This is not for the licenses for this summer. I want to stress that they're already in place. We're looking for the licenses to be approved from the middle of next year. And what we want to try and do is remove some uncertainty. We often get people coming to us and asking us for places. We go back to the board. They're not necessarily the right place, whereas we're trying to provide some certainty. We're identifying some locations that we believe are correct and appropriate for licenses to be operating from, and then we can offer them as by way of a tender post-Christmas. And so what we've got is we've said the Surf Club is suitable for 2 licensees, Mountain Vista for 1, Pleasant Point Reserve for 1, Royal Billy for 2, and in Tairua Ocean Beach for 1. Now, this is your opportunity as a board to identify whether or not you agree or disagree with those locations or want to even provide some other options.
Questions for Bruce? Sorry. See, Derek, so the type of operation of those places, whether it's surfboard hire or food and that, when you say 1 or 2, is that 1 of each or 1 only?
Okay, I don't have the, well, I'm looking at my little box here, which is you guys can't see, but what I've identified is that the location, we've set the type of license, be it food or activity, whether or not that is actually suitable. Thank you, Esther. And then the proposed number of licenses, whether it could be food or activity, and then the total. So the total is the one that you need to look at on the far right. And so that's saying the Surf Club is suitable for a maximum of 2 licenses, and 1 of food and 1 of an activity. Mountain Vista below that is only suitable for 1 license, but it could be either food or an activity license. Okay?
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
This is fairly normal. Past years, this is more or less the same as past years, I believe.
Through the chair, what has happened in the past is we often receive applications from people that it doesn't progress because the sites are unsuitable. So this is providing some certainty, but you're quite correct. Most of the applications that you've seen in front of you would have been for those sites in the past. So what we're doing is we're going around all of the boards. We're asking the boards all the same questions, but the difference being their sites are different.
So this is for this is summer 21-22.
This is for
or 22-23.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, 22. Yeah.
Yes, so Derek, I'm just working my way through this, if you don't mind. I'm just trying to understand that if there was two operators at the surf club, one was food and one was another activity, and a third operator wants to come along, that we see value, does one of the others drop off?
No, if you've issued a license for a food and you've also issued a license for an activity, then what we're saying is that there's no more capacity. So this is your opportunity to identify as a board to say that's correct, or actually no, it's incorrect. As officers, we believe you can have 3 licenses, but at the moment we're identifying, we're putting something in front of you, giving you a standing point or a starting point. Is that correct or not?
Right.
Okay, it gives us a head start.
Could I have a bit of a chip?
Yeah.
For the Tairua side of it, I think you're probably a little bit thin on the ground. I know there's the Pecker Reserve. Guy usually has a canoe hire there.
I don't think
He may not, but somebody else may want to
applied for this summer.
No, he didn't. But that's
Look at the future.
this is to say that somebody can't do it in the future. So also sometimes there's been a coffee cart at the car park opposite the surf club.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is written in stone and that's the end of it,
Yeah.
well, I think we need to have some more options.
Are we putting this in concrete?
No, he's asking us to look at it and make a decision.
Yeah,
We just got an
So
offer,
you
given us
bring
an
back to
offer.
them what you want.
Yeah, we got to go through this. It's worth some real good consideration.
Bit more thought.
Yeah, a bit more thought going to these allocations or these sites and just saying, what do we think? Because we're sort of making a future decision that we need to really consider.
Yeah.
So.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's good, Derek, getting that heads up start, so it'll be good for us to take it on board and do some work on it for you.
Because in the past, I believe that there's no mention of the south end of the beach of Pāuanui, but there's always been a coffee cart down there.
Yeah.
So,
This is somebody sitting over there making a decision what happens on that case with a look at it.
They're just giving us a heads up, they're just saying this is what they think.
When do you expect the answer to this, Derek?
ideally, you could debate it now.
That's what I thought you were saying.
So you guys need to make a decision now.
So you've identified
We can't make it.
the sites that we can, or you're recommending the sites that we could have various operators sitting on.
Correct. And through the chair, in regards to Tairua, we have considered other sites, but we thought that they were perhaps too close to some commercial ventures already, some bricks and mortar properties. So that's why we've come up with only one particular site. Now, we're unaware of other operators, and what you also might see is mobile operators. So they're ones that theoretically, your Mr. Whippies type things, they can turn up and they can operate on a reserve for around about half an hour and then they've got to move off. These are more permanent locations. You know that a coffee cart will be there or potentially be there 7 days a week, etc.
Yeah.
Did you not consider Mary Beach Reserve?
Well, if you want to suggest it.
Through the chair, can I just jump in? Bruce here.
Oh, yes, certainly. Correct.
So a couple of key points that I think, and apologies if you've already covered these, Derek, but I suppose a couple of key points would be time frames. So I heard Derek say he'd like you to debate it now. Obviously, time frames for the annual plan mean we need to turn this around and get it back to council in their December meeting. So hence the reason that the consideration is at the moment, and as part of this agenda pack that you would have received last week. The other point that I'd raise, and Derek, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would anticipate that what Derek and the team have proposed here is consistent with what's happened historically in Tairua-Pāuanui around concessions. So it would have been based on what you've been comfortable with in the past, I suppose. So I wouldn't imagine, and again, Derek can correct me if I'm wrong, I wouldn't imagine we'd be proposing a big shift one way or the other with that.
That's pretty much correct. So most of these locations, or these locations, have been used in the past. The only one that might be inconsistent, although we've certainly received applications, is Pleasant Point Reserve.
But certainly, I think it's legal Tairua and skinny.
I think it's skinny too. I think Pepe Reserve and
The Surf Club car park is a huge.
what about up up the hill there, Pumpkin Hill?
Pumpkin.
Yeah, because there could be an opportunity.
Oh, yeah, pumpkin, the other one, the beach, the Carpark beach.
Sailor's Grove, yeah.
Is this an all year round thing, or is this based on seasonal demands? Derek?
A license is issued and they can turn up theoretically all year round.
Can we add to it later?
You can probably add to it later, but what we're trying to do is, as Bruce has identified,
Probably move then to Cara and the Pepe, just.
Yeah, okay.
I think you should bolster it up, because you can always not accept anything.
And the Surf Club.
And the surf club, and I think down here at south end of Pāuanui Beach.
Because everyone's doing something.
Yeah. Well, you're just covering your bases and somebody.
Okay, so,
And it's going to be a different year this year, I would imagine, as well.
Yeah, well, that's right everywhere, isn't it?
so we're looking at the Pepe,
I don't want to kill the businesses in town, but
we're looking at Tikara Beach
Yeah.
and
Surf Club.
Mary Beach
Mary Beach.
And South End Pāuanui.
and South End Pāuanui and opposite the Tairua Surf Club.
Yeah, I agree with all of those places.
Tangi Moana Reserve, it's its name, Tangi Moana.
there's a lot of them.
Did you,
What about down the marina? Is there anything down there?
well, there is, at the marina, there is shops in there.
Do they offer the services they require, like, is there any hire thing there, like, paddle
Oh,
board?
yeah, there is paddle boards and, yeah, a lot of high stuff out of the dive shop.
Oh, it doesn't come, no operators come there and.
No.
so through the chair,
What about yours?
do you want there?
Sorry, Gary?
What type of activities would you envisage being permissible there? Would you like a food activity, or a food license, or an activity license? So the food is obviously your coffee carts. Your activity might be your paddleboard hire.
Pepe be activity, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Mary Beach would be both. It would be coffee, food, and possibly paddleboard, canoe type activity. Same as the Pepe. Although the Pepe should be coffee shops. Just
activity.
activity.
And I think the South Pāuanui, you get both of them, there's opportunity to maybe set up something down there, but food for a start.
Well, I was trying to think, remember what it usually does, it's usually a coffee cart, isn't it?
Yeah, coffee cup.
And then, of course, Mr. Whitby comes in every now and again.
I think you put an activity there as well, in case somebody wants to come up and set up some operation down there, like stand-up paddleboard or.
Traditionally, we have.
Yeah, well, they got paddle boards on that mountain, Leslie Beach, and I think at Pleasant Point as well, so.
So here at Whangamata, we've got kayak hires, and they use different parts of the beach to do it, so those businesses can operate.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking that, I don't know, it's up to you if you think Pāuanui needs another one, but it's good for the future if the opportunity.
Well, as I say, Mountain Vista one is the popular one for kayaks and canoes and that type, surfboards, that type of thing.
Yeah.
There we go.
We can add to it later on, it's not.
Yeah.
We'll put the list.
So, are you clear there, Derek?
And you haven't said something for Takaro?
Tikara,
You want food or activity? Or
Both.
Both?
Is that the surf club one?
No.
That's
And opposite the Tangawana, do you want food and activity? Opposite the surf club in Tairua.
Yeah, it could be, because they get surfboard irons, they could have surfboard irons up there.
Okay, so we'll just run them again
Surfboard
just for clarity for Derek. So South End Pāuanui, you want food and activity. Pepe Reserve, you just want activity.
Yeah.
Tikaro Bay, you want food and activity. Mary Beach, you want food and activity. And Tangi Moana Reserve, opposite the Tairua Surf Club, you want food and activity.
So just for clarity, thank you, Eileen, for running through with that one. Just for clarity, are you also saying that you would accept it's either a food or an activity, or you would accept both at the same time at these locations? For instance,
That'd be both.
And really, Derek, you'll find that these are, well, you've got them for a year, but they won't operate over the year. It'll be very seasonal.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, last 3 weeks, that'll be the end of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
I see on the maps, just again, that you've got allocated the areas. You'll need to go back and do this to those areas as well, will you?
That's correct. And if you've got any issues with those sites that we have identified, then again, please speak out about them.
Okay.
That's all right to me. And put both part 1 and part 2. It's included.
But you need to, in that resolution.
But there are additional
Sites?
sites. Happy with that?
Yeah, happy to
Look
do
at that motion, all in favour?
Aye.
Against? Thank you, carry. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you, board, for your consideration. Have a good day.
You too.
5.1, Pāuanui CBD car park project update. Can I have a move and a seconder, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. The suggested resolution that the Tairua-Pāuanui Community Board receives the car park project update dated the 11th of October 2021. 2, we approve not to proceed with the Pāuanui CBD car park project. And 3, we recommend to council out of cycle budget transfer of the Pāuanui CBD CAPEX project budget to the Tairua-Pāuanui car park resale budget. Andrew, there he is. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, everyone.
We can only see half of
Yeah,
you.
apologies, I can't remove it.
Oh, what?
We don't like those, so. It's just an IT authority and I don't have the authority to do anything, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You can only see half of me.
Yeah, it's probably the best half.
The best half, yeah.
Big glasses. We have a block on you.
The report is as read. I think it's unfortunate that there isn't enough depth of land to put the angled parking in, but that's a fact. We've had Pinnacle Civil, our civil engineering consultants, survey the piece of land, and it's just not big enough. Hence the suggested resolution.
Ollie, would you like to? Andrew's not aware of what's happened over there since this went to.
The email was sent to Warwick on the weekend from Pāuanui ratepayers.
Oh, yeah?
So they have concreted some of that area, and just pulling up the email now.
If you look at, I should have sent an email to you, but if you look at the picture, where the grass area is, behind the shops.
Yeah.
That's all had a concrete pad put in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by Jonathan Hopper. There's quite a pad being put in there, and they're all angle parking in there. So if you hit Ollie, it'll click you that.
It's gone to you now, Andrew and Bruce.
I'll have a look. Just a minute.
So the ratepayers are actually suggesting the same thing as us, not to proceed.
Yeah.
Where is it? on there?
Oh, see that grass section is in front of those carpet, no, on your,
Oh, this piece here?
yeah,
Oh, right.
that's been concreted in there, right?
And they've put the angle car park.
Yes, yeah.
And they increased the number from what, 5 to what, do you know?
Oh, I don't know, I should have.
So that's Hoppers paying for that themselves?
Yes,
Well,
Because that boundary actually comes out a lot further than the fences that are at the back of those businesses at the moment is not the correct boundary. The boundary comes out quite a bit.
hey, let's take the money and run.
Yeah, well, if they paid for it, we save some money.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Was there any recommendation in the email they wanted funding to help?
No. It was just an email from the Pāuanui ratepayers saying that this has happened and we basically agree with the fact that for us not to proceed.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And we need some money for the other car park at Billy Point.
Yeah.
Done deal.
So I'm happy to move that way, Mr. Chair. You want to tell you to move?
yes,
Yeah, and I'll see.
okay.
Thank you.
Again, I'll send you this picture,
We're just going to do 1 and 2 though, right? I mean 1 and 3. Which one are we going to do? Recommend, I don't do the book approve, not to proceed. Recommend the council, yeah, there's 3 of them, okay, yeah.
what we're doing.
Suggested resolutions?
Yeah, and we're going for 3.
All 3 of them.
All 3 of them.
We've got 3 of them.
Oh, yeah, we're putting in 3 resolutions, all in favour?
Aye.
Yes? Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
5.2, Tairua-Pāuanui Footpath Construction Program 2021. The resolution that the TPCP receives the footpath construction program dated 30th of October, and 2, requests that the TPCP provide staff with guidance on its preferred option for the works program by selecting one of the 2 options listed below. Can I have a move and second, please? Oh, thank you, Kath. Squeaky.
Sorry,
Right,
but do you have a second, sorry?
Every second.
James,
Yes, good morning.
good morning. Can we have, is he going to say something to us?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, take the report as being read.
All right, well,
Are we in an either or situation, are we?
Either or, yeah. So you guys understand where the budget's going to be spent? Have you got a footpath construction list of footpaths you want?
oh, we have had, but we haven't had much.
I would have thought that State Highway 25 would be the most important, though.
It says here the State Highway one, and the other one is,
Because the other ones have all got grass berms you can walk along.
Yeah, I think they're in 2 stages. We're doing the first stage. The plan was to do the first stage first, in the first financial year, and then stage 2 in the second for next year.
I'm trying to get back into it, am
Looking down at the plan, start from the bridge back towards Ocean Beach Road, then do the second part next in the next financial year.
127,000 for 100 odd metres of footpath. Oh. I don't know where they get the numbers.
I can't get my head around footpaths. They're golden paths, some of these.
Why are footpaths so dear?
I think it incorporates the traffic management. That's what the cost of materials are. I think the general rate we calculate on is about $300 per square metre.
Please, you're not the housing game. Yes, that's not the program. Down the bottom here. That's going to make the one from the other side of the bridge to along to the 50k sign, a fairly expensive one.
Yes, that's correct.
Hugely expensive.
Yeah, we could. There are thoughts of potentially going for a different material for that, such as a Hoggen path, which is that compacted lime chip. So that's an option for that section.
Last question.
Yes, Sydney, go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, is Waka Kotahi funding half of this?
I'm not sure at this stage. It's not. It hasn't been confirmed as yet.
Would it meet the criteria for funding?
It would, yes, I think, but it's whether or not that's available.
Is that because of their constraints currently with their budgets, or?
I believe so, Terry. Yes.
It seems a lot of money to me.
For a short
path, but we put the bridge in. They put the bridge in, didn't they?
Yes.
So they went and put a bridge in there, and then asked us to come up with $200,000 to put a footpath to it. It's a big call.
Yes.
I mean, the time frame's really not acceptable, really, is it? I mean,
Is it not a safety issue as well?
well,
Well, not on that side. There's a big white grass boom there, so it's not a safety issue there.
on the top side.
On the northern side, yeah.
No, well, that's never been, we've never been asking into there, it's the next back, south.
The southern side is the safety issue.
You would have thought they would build a two-lane bridge and forgotten the footpath.
Yeah, right, there's a culvert, it's a problem, isn't it? Isn't that the expense part?
Yes, yeah, it's not cheap to extend that culvert.
More walking and biking these days and in the future as well.
We did try and get a path across the paddock there, across Grant Turner's. That fell over too, that was too difficult. Well, what's the answer?
Have other options been looked at, like that line chip for this area as well? In terms
Yes,
of
yeah, that is something we have looked into, and we might go with. I think it's whether or not we can get the funding from NZTA.
Yeah.
We might go with that lime chip.
Because there's still some retaining that's going to be needed. If you walk it, you'll see there is a section that will have to be retained. It
Yes.
falls away very steeply.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Have you costed the Hogan?
Have we? I'm sorry. What was that, Warren?
The Hogan, have you costed that alternative?
No, we haven't as yet.
I'd like to see a same difference in a different material.
I'll make a note of that.
I agree with you, Keith. I think that if you're going to do one half later in Hoggen, why wouldn't you do the whole lot in Hoggen? Makes sense to me, and it's quite a suitable, walkable, flattish area, so it's not like it's up and down hills. I think it's probably worth considering.
What's the maintenance like on the Hoggen, like for longevity?
I think it's pretty good. It packs down well. Doesn't tend to wash off or anything. Just be
Easily repaired?
Easily repaired, yes. Easily replaced. Easily topped up.
Yeah, it could be maintained.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I know Keith wants to move, but I'd second it that we could look into a Hoggen path and cost it up and come back to us with this.
I certainly think our community, well, I know our community wants something done, ASP. They've been ringing this bell for a while now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. We can get that underway or get that costed out.
Could we go ahead with the design at least, and then go with? Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
That'd be good. So then it's a movement.
So where are we?
That was a good idea, actually.
How wide's the path, James? Is it a 1.2 or?
1.5, I think.
1.5?
1.5, yes.
Okay.
Yes, that'll be better, but we can have wheelchairs and pushchairs, ramps and
People walking past each other.
mobility scooters.
They got it for you in a few years' time.
Thank you.
Okay. So how do you want us to do this, James? Do you want us to approve the design and then ask for a pricing for the Hogan?
Yes, I think that's the best way forward, Terry.
So we're going to add a third section.
We could say option 1, community approves the design as,
We received the footpath program. We've given the staff some guidance.
So-
3,
Well, yeah, so is the read back of the resolution?
So we've got 1, receive the Tairua-Pāuanui Footpath Construction report dated 13th of October, and then request that the Tairua-Pāuanui Board provide staff with guidance on its preferred option. Option 1, if we're going to go with approves the design outline in figure 1 and request staff to return with cost and materials.
cost for Hogan Path construction.
Materials.
have you all read that resolution?
You happy to move that, Kat?
Yeah, I'll move it.
I can take it if you wanted.
Seconded from Barry. All in favour?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Do we want to continue and do a design for the southern side while we're at it, in Holden, and get a cost of that?
I thought we were talking about the southern side.
Both.
Oh, both, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I put it, didn't I? Yeah. Right, we're moving on. Thank you, James.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
6.1, Tairua-Pāuanui Community Board Action Schedule. Resolution is that we received the action schedule report dated 13th of October. Now move to second, please.
Yep.
Second. Eileen, you want to say something?
No.
No?
So we start at the top, talk about the barbecue.
The Barbie, Nana's Barbie?
So that was in August.
So that's Derek's team. Is
Now we're
Derek here
November, and they're scoping for it. So
still? Is Derek still online? No. Okay. Request him back if we need to.
Don't wish to sound ignorant, but where exactly is this Nana's Bay?
It's Nana's Bay of the Esplanade Reserve. At the bottom of Taku by the toilet block.
So we don't know why it's scoping so long?
No, we can follow up with community facilities and come back to you.
Through the chair, was it to do with the electricity?
Yeah, I think I saw something, I know, didn't it?
So I think we might need to get power phone.
Power and water, I think, was the two things, weren't it?
But determined by the power connection, it says we'll report it back to the board.
We'll follow up with community facilities where they're at with that.
Is it going to be in for Christmas?
I would be saying at this stage, probably no.
Yeah, no. It wasn't, it was something, this came out of the Lease, wasn't it? It wasn't one of our requests that we have a barbecue facility there, it was just.
No, I think you put it in, but it is a good idea.
Yeah.
Who decided that?
Like Parks and Reserves, I'm
So it
sure.
came out of their Parks and Reserves program.
Yeah.
So I'll follow that up with community facilities and come back to the board.
The other one we've got is in the Pepe, Pepe
It's still in
Place.
Pepe, yeah.
Oh, there we go, see a couple over there, with a nice shelter over the top of
Nice
it.
little roofs over.
Yeah, that's on, Royal Building.
So the second one's, Eileen, is that what we just discussed?
Yeah.
Review funding agreements with the board request inclusive services. Why district trust as part of it?
So I updated the board for that. It's the funding agreement still to meet with them.
Right.
Which will happen before Christmas. and see where we're going to with that.
Paku boat ramp. Project design is not started as yet. Materials used will be likely concrete and reported back from the board. What are you doing there? You're extending the boat ramp or something?
Provide a boat ramp.
A brand new one?
Yes, well, the ramp I'm at the moment.
Is there
There's no program.
still online?
I believe, Alan Cooper's doing it.
Who's doing that?
Alan Cooper?
Alan Cooper. Who's
No,
Alan Cooper?
Andrew's not at there.
Okay, so we'll follow up with Alan Cooper, who's the, on where we're at with that.
That's like a see.
This is the project program.
Yeah.
Can I just go back to the Equine District Trust? What did you say? I missed what you said.
I haven't met with the group yet to work through a funding agreement with them.
But what's happening?
Well, when I meet with them and go through the funding agreement, and we'll find out what's happening. I have heard
What
that
has happened?
I have heard that there has been some issues, but I haven't been party to those meetings. So until I meet with the group and work through the funding agreement, then I'll be able to get that information and relay it back to the board.
I thought we were just funding it.
No, I don't know what's going on our side. I've heard there's been a stroke with about the piece from the school to the cemetery, some geotech, but I haven't seen any evidence to say that it's been done.
So no money's being paid to them until the funding agreement's sorted out. And when I meet with them, then I'll be able to find out what their scoping is, because that was one of the things that the board wanted as part of their funding agreement, was to ensure that the Tairua side was accounted for.
Well, they had a new team leader, it was Graham. Was it Graham?
Gary Prince.
No,
No.
that's another guy.
The guy that spoke at our last meeting, Bryce Quite, introduced himself. He was the new voice. See, he'd get round the table whenever talking.
Well, we haven't had that meeting yet.
It's getting drawn out.
Finished there?
Apparently there's quite a lot of positiveness.
Yeah, I thought you might have something to say.
I've got nothing to say about it. What's going? I'm disappointed again, though. I mean, out of 5 of these things, and it's not you again, it's reporting back to you. We've had not one of them sort of answered. So, and I go to the next one, which is looking at the 4 rating requests for invoices a year. Is that gone anywhere?
That was,
Well, the request came through the public forum, and the rates team have answered your request as to if it can happen. So they've put in there what the story is, the additional costing and everything to change it from 3 to 4.
So this goes to the council, not us. Is that right? Or are you wanting to come back to the board for a decision? So,
This would have to go to council. This is be a council decision because it affects just not Tairua-Pāuanui, it's the whole district.
I raised this at council after that person raised it in the public forum here and asked the council to look at it. So it's they're going to decide whether the $32,000 is worth doing it. That's for the council to decide, is what you're saying?
But it will be something that the council would have to decide.
The whole idea of this was some sort of a relief, wasn't it, to spread the pain?
Spread the load out.
But they have that facility now, I understand. You can pay it monthly.
You can.
Yeah, I see the sense in this.
This came from the public forum from David Yeomans, who put a request to council to look at investigating changing the instalments to 4.
Yeah, but if we can already do it, what's the point?
Yeah, there's options with council for.
So the request was to follow it through, so we have. So there's the answer, the costings for it. So
it's going to cost us $32,000 to do nothing. That we can't already do.
Well, it's down
This would be right across the district, I'm assuming.
it will be across the district, so
Board.
it would be something that a report would have to come from the finance team.
I think what you've done is we've followed through on it, and now we've got a deal or a price, and now it's up to the council to decide where it goes. If you say he can do monthly online automatic payments, well, maybe that was not discussed at the time, but I think it's much more. I didn't know. I've never set mine up on that. You did monthly payments?
I don't know, my wife knows it. We do. I just do that.
Just an automatic bank account.
Yeah.
It's all a month.
It's one of those things.
Okay, so that's under control. And then there's staff to investigate why edging along the footpath isn't being completed by new contractors.
I'm not mowing the grass either at the moment.
Are they supposed to do the edging?
No, they used to.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's happened, it's just potential falling off the.
Do they mow the berms here?
Yes.
Well, they don't mow the berms along the town. People mow their own.
Well, some you do, some they do, but some berms have got nobody. I noticed that there's quite a lot of the grass in Tairua has actually got much longer than it used to be.
Oh, for sure. I know mine, but no, it's just the edging where the footpath, the concrete's been encroached by growth.
Yeah.
And they used to have an edging, so something to come along really well.
Years ago, Joe Ashley used to do
They
it.
just do it, but it just doesn't happen, so I just asked a question.
So is it the fact that the berms are mowed in Tairua-Pāuanui by the contractors?
Some of them,
Yeah.
some of them are, yeah.
So it's the way, well, any of the wards, the main arterial roads are.
Yes.
Okay.
So the main roads into Pāuanui, main roads into Tairua, the main arterial roads are, but the rest aren't.
Okay.
And some of them where there's no housing, the berms are made, like along Pepe Road, around there with the reservoirs and.
So we may our own reserves, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I didn't know that I thought they just didn't mow, people had to mow their own. There was some sort, I remember it being discussed that there was a fund, so, save money by not mowing the berms.
That was the last
in terms of cost.
The last mayor bought that, I think.
Yeah, it's been back.
Anyway, people are just trying to do it, they mow their own. Okay, any further matters arising from the action schedule?
Yeah. I'm a bit disappointed, that's all I am. There's
Things that
6 monthly meetings, we 5 months into the long-term plan, or our annual plan, and these things should be at our meeting, so sorry to harp on, but it's always me when I come along to a meeting and there's not the information there.
Yeah, a year goes by and we don't see the.
This is our last meeting before Christmas, is that right?
Yes.
So we won't hear this till February next week. Okay.
Okay, so we had a move in a second, I'll put the resolution. All in favour? Yes. Carried, thank you. Members' reports. I'll just start. Barry?
Well, there are a few meetings, although it's been quite quiet really with this COVID-19 going around and all the comments about that. But just bring you up to date on some things. Attended the Holland Close meeting regarding the stream flooding. Consensus of opinion seems to be that it's more or less under control at the moment. There's a extra flood going in on Mountain Vista, I think, isn't it? Yeah. And regular maintenance, as I say, will hopefully solve the problem. I went to a shoreline management plan meeting, October 24th. That was well attended, and I think it was a really good presentation right there. Very good. I attended the ratepayers meeting on the next day. That was okay, fairly well attended, but not all that exciting. I've received some complaints, although many of them are minor, about the new contractors regarding the parts and reserves and that type of thing. And one of them was about the drains not being done. And I think a lot of it is that perhaps they are not fully up to date on the actual areas of road and how they go about these things. But so it's hopefully the things will improve in the near future. And also, of course, some of the weather we've been having as well, it's not a good time for it to take over. It's obviously
Spring break as well.
That's right. I've been approached and I'll give some information over regarding what they call the Pāuanui Dune Protection Society. They're being formed by a number of people. I'll give the information to Eileen and she'll be following up on it. Because some of the dune protections, what we've been doing, the planting, has obviously been postponed because of weather and the cold. So hopefully that'll continue, start again next year. But in the meantime, this group of people, as I say, they are keen to do this dune protection of the Pāuanui.
That's the way the enemy sand dunes, they're all flat.
Well, don't hold those flat. It was interesting, because walking down there the other day, where we've done some planting and Jim Dan was doing it and organising it there, that is looking really good. And it's where it's not been done, where some people objected to it, that's not as good as, anywhere near as good as what we did. But no, so that's been done. And I think that's just about it for me. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my turn. It's been pretty quiet for me this month. I was approached by the Pāuanui ratepayers and asked to speak at their AGM. However, I was unable to because I was away that weekend. Other than that, I had a call from Barry regarding the gentleman in Pāuanui, I can't recall his name, wanting to speak with me regarding the fishing club proposal at Billy Point.
John Courtney.
Yeah, thank you. However, I haven't yet him, so all pretty quiet on the home front for me. Haven't attended any meetings, obviously, due to lockdowns, etc. But yeah, it's been pretty quiet.
Thank you, Kev.
No problem.
All right, I attended a Holland Close Flood Protection meeting with Barry, and I think the resource consent's pretty much ready to go for the sound of it.
That's what it seemed like.
Should actually be in.
Yeah.
So sorry to see Jonathan go halfway through the project.
Yeah.
We need to get whoever's on it now motivated to keep pushing it. Attended the SMP Shoreline Management Project Forum at Tairua Country Club. They did a presentation for the public, and it was well attended, and it was very good, I've got to say. I also went to a skateboard information public meeting at the hall. Rex was there, and I think that was pretty good, Rex, wasn't it? There's a lot of positive comments. I've also filled in my survey, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I've noticed that around the town that we just talked about, the contractors, we need to probably get Lou, or whoever runs the contractors, to have a drive around and just double check everything, make sure it's getting done. And I'd also like to see the edges of the vegetation on the sides of the road cut back, which haven't been done for a long time, particularly the corner of Pepe Road and the main road, and all the bushy areas along Gallagher Drive, part of the footpath is starting to encroach on the footpath down the bottom. Further up the hill, it's encroaching onto the road. That's a long, long time since the mower's been up there doing that. Apart from that, I'm looking forward to a happy Christmas.
Terry? A few little things to follow up on. The first one is Waka Kotahi's dropping of the Pepe Bridge project in 2023 and pushing it out 10 years. Really disappointing to hear that. We've had a working group on that for a year with the PM and some local board chairs and local people, and they've given us a sort of assurance that 2023 was when that was going to happen, but it's been booted to touch. So
we're actually surveying it today.
Yeah,
there's geotech surveys.
Serious equipment parked out there this morning.
Yeah.
Well, it's pushed out at least 10 years behind. So that's a bit of a disappointment to hear that. The transportation plan for this area for this connector bus is the plan has been drawn up by regional council, and Ed's looked into it and suggested a way forward as far as the survey goes. So that should be coming out. I don't know when. I don't know if you heard when. Don't know about when this, but if you want, like to get that out sometime so we can get an answer back on that one. We've had the representation discussion at council on the future for representation within the boards and whether we have boards and all the rest of it. Joyce Birdsall spoke on behalf of the Tairua-Pāuanui, spoke very well. Looked into the information and showed that I think it was quite an important piece of information shared with us, that 10th Coromandel is the highest amount of non-resident ratepayers in the whole of New Zealand. So there was real concern about getting representation from those people to be recorded or to be valid in terms of coming to government funding and to elections. And there's been quite a push to try and get information out to those non-resident ratepayers at least around election time to put it to vote. They get one vote. But in terms of funding, we're really screwed in terms of trying to, when we can't include those numbers in our applications. We opened our water plant in Whangatā the other day. It was quite good to see that being done as part of the water upgrade project. The impact on business around town with COVID, we had a lot of pressure going on around feedback from the business association around not having the non-resident ratepayers in town spending the money and starting to feel the pain and the pressure from that. So I'm not too sure how Tairua was a lot of feedback, but I have had a little bit from people and feeling the same concerns. We did the CCNZ funding grants for the arts the other day, and those applications will be informed by letter. There's a couple that came out of this area. And the three waters. What do I say? All that discussion, all that 8 weeks of good faith discussion has come back to a mandated decision by the government. So yeah, Rex has got to work ahead of him to try and turn that round. But yeah, really disappointed to see that effort gone by everybody around the country had been overlooked, and it looks like they've got a plan now for the 2024 and some things to happen in between, and we'll see where it goes. There is a suggested protest march being put together, but I'll let you know more about that when it happens. So
you'll be there in front of it?
I'm sharpening up the pitchfork.
Yeah. Thank you, Terry. You just mentioned the bridge. I was not aware that it's been put back. It's quite a retrograde step. It will be very upsetting. It's not only, they call it the Tairua Bridge, but it's actually the gateway to the peninsula. There's a lot more traffic that goes down that road that's just for our town I'd say 90% of the freight goes down that bridge, or over that bridge. Not to mention the timber and the milk that's coming out the other way. That's
And 120 odd thousand cars a month.
So, I did my usual radio interview with Rex. It's always interesting to have a chat to him. We probably chat more before he turns on the radio than we do when we actually go online. I continually try to urge those that are listening to log on to the council webpage or to do this is in regards to the skate park, or to go to the library and fill in the paper submission form, drop it in the box. I am continually haranguing people around town to make sure they do it. Don't come to me and talk to me about it. I attended the AGM with Information and Community Services. They had a pretty lean year, but they have actually managed to trade themselves out of a loss. I go to the usual monthly meetings of the Hall Committee and the Heritage Society. The Hall Committee were concerned that they received their rate bill and their insurance bill, something nearly $7,000, and they don't make that sort of money, so it is a concern. They are concerned about it. Some week ago, we blessed the new panel, History Heritage Panel in the Reserve. And I have received several inquiries from other residents that I've passed on to Eileen for her attention, and it's been done. So I do get a few niggles. People are getting niggly. So they make sure they pass it on to me, and if I can't attend to it straight away or get an answer for them, I pass it down to Wamatahi. And of course, there have been many emails about our mayor's position. And I've kept a pretty open mind about that. I've told him that yes, there is a lot of emails out there upset about her position, but there's also been quite a few in support of her position. So that's where I started. And that's it, really. That's my lot.
I'll move.
Second. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. All in favour of the reports?
Yep.
Yes.
Aye.
Ring the bell.